do have a couple of questions about the underlying committee print that's being marked up today. The original majority draft bill included $318 million for the exploration ground systems. This account funds activities that support ground operations at Kennedy Space Center for the Space Launch System and Orion. For example, this funding would include launch pad modifications, which are critically needed to enable 2014 and 2017 test flights. But in looking through the committee print that's noticed for today's markup, I can't find the item anymore. I see that the committee print has increased SLS funding over the previous draft, so I'm wondering, Mr. Chairman, if the elimination of the Exploration Ground Systems account is intended to eliminate those activities, or have you rolled those activities into the SLS account? If it's the latter, then you are basically just providing the same amount of money for the SLS vehicle program as was in the original draft. I just want clarification on what's being provided in this bill for the SLS vehicle development and what's provided for ground systems, and I'd be happy to yield.
Yes, sir. That budget for exploration ground systems was incorporated in the overall SLS program line. Yes, sir.
So I just want to be clear then. Does that mean that what we're considering this morning in an FY 2014 appropriation level of $1.78 billion, because does that include the $299 million for exploration ground systems and then the vehicle development that's listed as $1.476 billion?
Ma'am, I apologize. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but from the discussion draft to the committee print, the same amount, which I believe was $318 million for exploration ground systems, was incorporated in the SLS program.
Okay. It looks like those are numbers that were actually coming from the Appropriations Committee subcommittee. So I just wanted to make sure that the print that we're looking at today, is it comparable to that? Are we looking at the same numbers?
We're looking at the number, comparing the I believe 318, and I actually think staff is briefing the chair on this now. It's 318, which I believe is the President's request level, not the appropriations, FY14 appropriations that were just reported out.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mr. Chairman. I'm still a little bit confused, but I want to say it seems like a little bit of a shell game with regard to the exploration account. I think the math is pretty simple. The rocket costs X, the spacecraft costs Y, the ground systems, including the launch facilities, cost Z. And if you add those up, then you should have the cost of the program. And so it's just kind of hard for me to see that you can underfund those activities in sum, but also still meet the mission milestones. If you're going to shift money from one part of the program to another, it really just doesn't get you there. I don't think you can launch a rocket without a launch facility, and there's not much use in launching a rocket without a spacecraft. And so I'm concerned that we're setting NASA up to fail with the requirements that are at this funding level, if I understand the levels right. And I yield back.